Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Art, channeling messages from Spirit Infinite Gratitude. So we're going to do a collective reading with the Tarot of the Divine and just see what Spirit has to say. A download that I got earlier today, and it was a pretty lengthy one. The inner child is coming forward, the spirit of the inner child. And I'm not just talking about my inner child, but I feel like the inner child, the spirit of the inner child in general is coming forward. The inner child has a lot to say. The inner child, I downloaded some information about the inner child and the spirit of the inner child. And what I found out is that the inner child, number one, doesn't have an ego. Your inner child doesn't understand. It's like it's separate. That's why we have like these elements of our spirit team, like our inner child, our higher self, and our lower self, and things of this nature. The inner child is separate from the ego. The inner child doesn't know the ego. The inner child doesn't understand ego. The inner child is original, authentic. The inner child shows up as themselves, and there is nothing else to it, to them. The inner child wants to play, and they'll play inside, they'll play outside. They prefer to play out. This is literally what I channeled. They prefer to play outside. So I use this as a allegory, or no, is it an analogy or an allegory? One of those. I reference a child playing outside versus inside when it comes to the inner child feeling safe. So the inner child will play inside if it's safer inside, and the inner child will play outside when it's nice outside, when the weather is nice, when there are other kids outside. The inner child loves to play. Like that's all they want to do is play. Um, but if it's not safe outside, they'll play inside. If it's not safe outside, um, if it's not safe inside, they'll play outside. But you know, it's inside, so they would rather play outside. Your inner child would rather express themselves, be vulnerable, be themselves. You know, and that's just being strong. Being vulnerable is being strong, and your inner child has no problem being themselves and being authentic. It comes naturally to them. It's just they need to be in a secure, stable environment in order to fully express themselves. So the inner child, I felt this morning, I felt the spirit of the inner child. Now, if this doesn't resonate, obviously don't internalize it, but I just intuitively felt my inner child and the spirit of the inner child coming forward, wanting to play. I feel like the inner child has been indoors for too long. I feel like collective, you and or me, us together, we could be sheltering our inner child too much, or we could be overprotective of our inner child to the point where it's like we don't let our inner child play outside. Let me know if this resonates with you guys or not. This is definitely something that I've been picking up on within myself. The inner child is getting frustrated. I feel my inner child getting frustrated, getting irritable, because my inner child has been playing indoors. Thank you, Spirit. My inner child has been playing indoors for too long, and my inner child wants to play outside. Let's say it's just been a rainy season, it's a stormy season. There's just been some things going on the street, right? And I'm literally envisioning my childhood home as I channel all of this. Like I go straight to like my childhood home and my wanting to play outside. I just remember like wanting to play outside, and I just go right back there. So we all could relate to like wanting to play outside and it's raining or it's thundering or it's storming or it's too late in the evening, right? So that's where I feel like the inner child is at right now. It's indoors. They're indoors. They're playing. They've been keeping themselves content up until this point, but now they're getting really irritable. They're getting really frustrated, and they want to express themselves fully. They want to be their awesome, authentic selves without any limitations, restraints, constrictions, without having to worry about protecting themselves and protecting your inner child. So I feel the inner child coming forward and basically asking, hey, can we play outside now? Is it okay to go outside? Um, that's all they want to do is play outside. I'm telling you right now. I love the inner child because the inner child. I picked up on so much, and I'm not going to just break all of it down because it is so much, and I'm gonna give you guys the messages that are the most relevant. The inner child is a G, and I know the inner child is a child, but they are very, especially when I'm the collective that I read for, I'm picking up on an inner child energy that is like a G. Like the inner child is completely pure. I mean, the spirit of the inner child is just pure. It's the purest frequency. So the inner child, the spirit of the inner child is so pure yet so intelligent. They turn their back. I got a vision of my inner child, the spirit of the inner child, and the inner child will turn their back on anything that does not align with them. Um, like I told y'all, they just want to play. They'll play inside, but they really would like to go outside and go off. They want to go crazy. They want to run around. They want to be loose. They want to be free. That's what your inner child wants to do. The inner child wants to play. And when it comes to the collective that I read for, the spirit of the inner child is extremely intelligent. They're very pure and, innocent, yet so intelligent, so self aware. They know what they want. That's the best part about, not the best part, but that is one of the most notable things to observe about the inner child is how pure they are and how intelligent they are and how they know what they want, and they will turn their back on anything and anyone who gets in the way or who doesn't align. It's like, oh, you don't want to play Legos? I'm gonna go leave you alone then. I'm here to play Legos. Like the inner child is a G. Like they know what they want, they know what they're here for, and if you're not doing what they like, or if they're not interested, then they will literally go find the next thing. Like they'll go find the next toy, the next friend, acquaintance, whatever. They will like entertain themselves and enjoy themselves. That is like their purpose. And that is within each of us. That spirit of the inner child lives within all of us. I think that's so special, and I'm really grateful for the collective that I read for because I just feel like the inner child that's coming forward is intelligent as I don't know what. So smart. And it's like, it's not because they want to be smart. The inner child isn't like, I'm going to study and become this super smart inner child. Like, they are authentically intelligent, pure. They know what they want. They know what they like. They know what they're interested in. They're very um, experimental. And I appreciate the spirit of the inner child coming forward and making their needs and their wants known. Like, hey, I want to play outside. Can you figure out how to make the environment work so that I can play outside safely? The inner child is like tugging on somebody's jacket, tugging on your jacket. Your inner child might be tugging on your jacket saying, I want to play outside. I've been indoors for the past 2 weeks, or I've been playing it safe for the past however long. And I need to step into the light. I need to perform. I need to be seen. I need to be heard. I want to play with other people who are into the same thing, or other kids. You know what I'm saying? Like the inner child wants to get out and experience more and have more fun. That's what I've been channeling. But the inner child also is like making their presence known. And basically, I'm getting so many downloads about what makes the inner child tick. Like I said, they're extremely intelligent naturally. It's the spirit. The spirit is intelligent naturally, and will turn their back on anything or anyone that isn't fun, interesting, and it's not mean. It's not out of ego. If you don't align with the spirit, it doesn't wait for you to get into alignment. It doesn't change itself to align to you. It doesn't change. The inner child isn't going to change who they are deep down to please anything or anyone. The inner child is going to be themselves all the time. They don't know or understand ego. They don't understand, or they can't conceptualize, rationalize being someone that they're not to like please anyone. The inner child is trying to enjoy themselves and have fun. They don't stay where they're not wanted. They don't stay in places where they're not celebrated. Your inner child is not going to stick around in places, environments, relationships, dynamics where they're not celebrated, where they're not treated fairly. They're trying to have fun. You think they really got time to sit around and be abused willingly, right? You think they have time to sit around and tolerate disrespect willingly? Absolutely not. The inner child is like, I'm here to enjoy myself. And the inner child, the thing is, and another thing about the inside and outside, so the inner child resides within each person. And I also got this download that the inner child will go indoors. So that means the inner child will go within you, or your inner child will take a step back. And then some points, your inner child will step forward and speak through you, or demand your attention. And then at other times, the inner child coils back and goes into your subconscious, or they aren't coming forward. They're not at the forefront. And I feel like you could be trying to protect your inner child, but they need to get out. They need to go outside. I'm picking up on the spirit of someone's inner child coming forward and saying, hey, I want to play outside. Why is your inner child not able to play outside? Is it because it's unsafe? You feel like they're gonna get corrupted? I don't think it's possible, because the inner child's job is to stay the inner child. The inner child is always going to be the inner child, whether they're inside or outside. The inner child is invincible. The inner child is a G. Like I said, like when I think about the inner child, I see a spirit that doesn't tolerate anything that it doesn't deserve, that doesn't understand what it doesn't deserve. It's like the inner child doesn't understand what isn't fun, what isn't cool, what isn't interesting. So I see that the inner child doesn't tolerate the BS, because they're made to focus and revolve around fun. So they walk away from all situations that aren't fun, or they'll go within. You'll feel your inner child coil inside of you when you're at a business meeting, you're dealing with something burdensome, or you're not feeling like yourself. Your inner child will be like, okay, I'll play inside today. That's what happens. That's the indoor outdoor thing. Then when you're feeling good and you are energetic, your inner child will go outside and play. And they love that. They love when you take them outside to play, for obvious reasons. The inner child does coil within, kind of like a turtle going into its shell, as needed. And then they will do that because it's important for them to stay the inner child. That's their job in your spirit team. Like, your inner child is a part of your spirit team. The inner child knows that the role that they play is to keep you keep you grounded. Your inner child is your anchor. Reminds you of kind of like what you're doing and why. Inner child knows what they want. They will throw a fit, you know what I'm saying? They know exactly what they want. And if something's not fun or interesting anymore, they're off of it. and they're on to other things. They're on to something new. And that's what I love about the inner child, is that even when my conscious self, when I've been in situations where I should have left relationships a long time ago, or I should have left environments a long time ago, my inner child been left. And that's what I love about the inner child. I be staying in situations that I know is not healthy for me, that I know isn't good for me. My inner child been left. My inner child left the moment they weren't having fun. You could have been in like a toxic relationship or a situation for years. Your inner child was never stuck around. Your conscious self might have stuck around, but your inner child never ever tolerated one moment of that. And that's something that I am super grateful for, is that I might have stayed in places where I shouldn't have and suffered longer than I should have and chosen situations that were not good for me. But my inner child would never ever sabotage themselves that way. My inner child will dip the moment they are no longer entertained, they're no longer having fun. So keep that in mind when you think about all the time you've wasted or all the time you've spent in situations that weren't good for you. Your inner child was playing and busy at work doing them while you were sticking around doing whatever. Like, your inner child wasn't going for none of that. Like, it wasn't fun. Obviously, you were suffering, you were in pain, you were in toxicity, you were in negativity, you were dealing with, whatever that was going on. Your inner child never tolerated it, never ever gave it any life. The inner child was gone. Like, this isn't fun. This isn't me. The inner child was like, this isn't who I am. This isn't what I'm here to do. And then your inner child goes within and waits until you are ready to say that they can play outside again. And that's what they really want to do, is just play outside. But like I said, they'll play indoors as needed. I felt the inner child really wanting to go outside today. So we did something like that. I took myself to, my salon appointment, and I remember thinking about, what is my inner child doing right now? And I literally, every single time it's so interesting, when I call on spirit answers. When I call on my inner child answers. It's like the same way. And I think it's just awesome. I called on my inner child while I was driving. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, are you like inside? Are you playing with blocks and stuff? Are you just like chilling in your room? Or are you like getting out? Are you getting the air? Are you getting what you need? And my inner child was literally like cooling in the back. Like, I literally pictured my inner child in the back seat with me, looking out the window, kind of like whistling to herself. And I'm like, yeah, my inner child's straight right now. Like, she's good. Like, I see her like chilling. She's not like elated and euphoric and just going crazy or anything like that, but she's sitting down and she's at peace, and she's watching, observing things, and she's entertained by what she's seeing, and she's really happy. So I was like, yes, that's exactly what my inner child asked me for when I woke up, and I followed suit, and I see results. I see my inner child having fun, and I see my inner child doing well. So definitely call on your inner child and ask your inner child what they want, what they need on occasion. Just check on your inner child and make sure that they are living through you, and being you. you know Another element of your spirit team is your divine counterpart. So I'll call on spirit, I'll call on source, and then I'll call on my inner child, the spirit of the inner child, and I'll also call on the spirit of my divine counterpart, because I understand that my divine counterpart is a part of me. The spirit of my divine counterpart is with me at all times, even if I'm not in union, even if I don't know who my divine counterpart is. And that goes for you, collective. If you don't know who your divine counterpart is, just know your divine counterpart is with you at all times. The spirit of your divine counterpart is a part of you, is with you. So I'll call on the spirit of my divine masculine, and I will get a response. I'll get an answer. It's really cool. Now, source spirit is the Holy Spirit. It's the divine. So obviously your spirit team is a reflection of source. Um, and their separation is an illusion, and everything is connected. So all of these spirits, the inner child, the divine counterpart, your higher self, your lower self, your shadow, uh, all of these spirits are connected and really are a reflection of spirit. But we compartmentalize these aspects of the spirit team to better understand ourselves and care for ourselves. And I'm going to go ahead and call on the spirit of, either divine masculine or feminine, and see what our divine counterparts have to say, if there's any messages in regards to that. Inner child, if you have anything to say, obviously we're going to channel those messages and get those out. And spirit, the divine, any and all messages, we're going to go ahead and pull some cards. Queen of Cups. So I feel like if you're doing an inner child, work, if you're working with your inner child, if you've been paying attention, even just paying attention to your inner child is sometimes all they want, all they need. I feel like it's putting you in a position of abundance. Like, taking care of your inner child is working wonders for you in your love life, if that makes any sense. The way that you love your inner child mirrors the way that your divine counterpart loves you. Because I was thinking about the inner child and how much I love the inner child for always turning their back on what wasn't for them. Like the inner child, and you will never ever see the inner child willingly staying anywhere where they're not celebrated, doing anything that isn't fun. Like the inner child is like, I'm here to have fun. Like, what's fun, what's cool, what's out here, I love it here. The inner child loves it here. And that's what I love about the inner child, is like, the inner child loves it here. The inner child is so interested in earth, in life, in every day. Like, what's going on? What's happening? We might get so caught up in like other things, we don't realize how passionate we are about life, or how passionate our inner child is about life and about the things that they're into. The inner child is like, I'm so into this, I'm so interested, I'm so entertained, I love it here, let's do it again tomorrow, can we come back, do we have to leave now? That's, the inner child is lit. The inner child is lit every day. The inner child wants to be lit every day and is lit in general. The spirit of the inner child is lit every day, loves it here. I'll never forget that. I love my inner child so much for being that way. Like, yes, be lit, be like yourself, and just like do whatever like feels right and feels good, and like what's fun and entertaining to you. Like, I love how my inner child loves life. Like, I love the life of my inner child and the spirit of the inner child in general. So the way I look at my inner child with such remarkable, like dazzling eyes. Like, I will look at my inner child do their thing, and I'm just so amazed at my inner child. And that is how your divine counterpart looks at you. That is the same way your divine counterpart loves you, the way you love your inner child. Like, your divine counterpart will watch you do your thing and be happy and go after your goals, and your divine counterpart will watch you do these things and just be so in love with you for just being yourself. It's the same energy of the way we love our inner child. Something to be truly grateful for. Inner child is lit. Queen of Cups. Inner child, it's like, as long as your inner child is kept happy, as long as you keep paying attention and listening to your inner child's needs and wants, like, it puts you in a position of like maturity. So even though you're dealing with your inner child and you're tapping into that energy, that frequency, you're still evolving as an adult. You're still evolving as a person, and you're becoming more mature. You're becoming more capable. The more you nurture your inner child, the more mature you become, the more capable you become as a lover, as a nurturer. You become the Queen of Cups. If you nurture your inner child, like, you become the Queen of Cups. You become very abundant, very mature, very nurturing. It does wonders for you spiritually and physically in the 5D and the 3D. Nurturing your inner child does wonders for you in every aspect of your life, financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Working with your inner child, healing your inner child does wonders. I just seen this and I heard it's okay. So I feel like there's some guilt or shame surrounding somebody's actions that they took as a child, or they were children when something happened, they were children, and there's like guilt or shame surrounding a situation that happened to somebody like as a child. But I heard it's okay because you didn't know any better, you didn't have the guidance, the resources, the space, some mistake that was made. I'm hearing it's okay. I see a scared child. I see a child like running over, like afraid of getting in trouble, afraid of like being punished for something, hiding something that they broke, did on accident. This could have been an accident. I don't think this was on purpose. This was on accident. They're scared of being blamed for it or being punished for it. I see a nurturing energy and I'm hearing it's okay. So somebody's inner child might need reassurance, comfort, nurturing. I'm getting here that somebody just didn't know any better and they didn't have what they needed at the time. They made a mistake. And I see this nurturing, healing energy. So it's like it's okay. The situation is healable or it can be healed. Whatever mistake was made, it can be fixed. It can be restored. Something can be healed. Someone's innocent is what I'm getting here. Oh, there we go. Somebody made a mistake, did something, but they were innocent. Like they were misled, they were lied to, they were manipulated, they lacked resources. Something, I feel like it had something to do with money or the lack of resources, and someone being really young, making a mistake. The situation is forgivable, healable, is what I'm getting here. The shame and guilt surrounding the situation should be released, knowing that the situation can be healed, forgiven. Someone just didn't know any better, didn't have the guidance. They were a child. They made a mistake as a child. This could have been you, collective. This could have been a situation or someone you know. King of Wands in reverse. They might have lacked a father figure, a parental figure wasn't present. Could have been raised by a single mother. They were struggling. Somebody was struggling. Spirit, what does it mean? What is it for? Ace of Cups in reverse. Somebody's not forgiving themselves for something that is forgiven. That's already a situation. Thank you, Spirit. A situation has already been forgiven, or a situation is already healing, or the situation is already healed. Someone is not forgiving themselves, hasn't forgiven themselves for something that they did as a youth because they didn't have, because their family might have been going through things, struggling. They didn't have the presence of a parental figure. They didn't have the right guidance, resources, support. However, they're still beating themselves up for something that they did as a youth. Thank you, Spirit. Somebody is still ashamed of something that they did as a youth. Someone hasn't forgiven themselves for something that they did as a youth, that they have already been forgiven for. The situation is already being fixed or is healing. They still haven't forgiven themselves for something. Yeah, this person, there's innocence is coming up again in the reading with the Four of Cups in reverse. I feel like this person is innocent. Yes, they made a mistake, but they were innocent. And like I see this person like self-loathing. They might not necessarily be beating themselves up or just being really hard on themselves, but they're definitely self-loathing, thinking about mistakes that they've made when they didn't know any better. I'm picking up that this person is walking away from the situation, self-loathing. It's almost like they don't want to hear about the solution. It's almost like the solution is being presented to them like, hey, we can fix this, or it's okay, or you didn't know any better. We can do this about the situation. We can do that. We've got solutions, or somebody's like, I forgive you. I understand. Like, but I see this person be like, no, 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 it's not okay. I'm not okay. This isn't okay. And they're like walking away from the situation, but they're being forgiven, or the situation is like being healed, and they're still kind of like self-loathing over it. It's almost like making things worse than what they already are because they're self-loathing so much. It's not actually as bad as they're like making it worse. But something about them is just not able to forgive themselves. They're not able to forgive themselves. And I feel like, I don't know if it's, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they're genuinely sad about something. This could be you, collective, or however it applies, take it how it applies. But somebody's walking away from the situation, and I feel like they're being a little bit dramatic. And I don't necessarily like using that term because I've been called dramatic before, and I just beat myself, and I just don't know how that works. But I honestly feel like this person right here is walking away from a situation. They're actually being like dramatic. It's like the situation is healed, it's forgiven, you can move on, you can forgive yourself, you can let it go. This person is like, no, like they don't, it's almost like it's not over until they say it's over. It's giving dramatic. It's giving come back here, It's like, where are you going? You don't have to be like that. But this person is like, I feel like what's really happening right now is that they're angry because they know they were innocent, even though they blame themselves for something and they haven't forgiven themselves for something. It's like they know deep down that they were innocent. So it's like it's extra because it's of the how messed up this. They're being extra because the situation just messed up. So it's like they're being extra. Like, why did I have to end up in this situation? I know I was a youth, but why me? Like, I'm just gonna like carry this. I'm upset. It's not funny, but that's the energy. It's like a dramatic energy of like, I'm upset and I'm gonna carry this. And I'm not trying to be offensive, but it's giving like a very dramatic, immature energy of somebody just like self-loathing and like carrying some low vibration. Spirit, do you have anything else to say on this? The Queen of Wands and the King of Cups. Oh my goodness. And then Spirit, These cards are so cool with the Queen of Wands and the King of Cups. I love the fire and the water. This is an interesting energy. I'm really interested in getting into these two cards because what I feel like the situation proves this person, whoever is self-loathing, kind of holding a grudge. You know, I said they're carrying it. It's like I feel like they might be holding a grudge. They might be bitter. Like, why did this happen to me? Like, this shouldn't have ever happened. I see someone like bitter, holding a grudge, self-loathing, walking away from everybody to be upset. Um, I feel like they get out of this rut, or they get out of this energy, and they step into a more mature, assertive, powerful energy. The Queen of Wands and the King of Cups. What's crazy, you know, what's super cool about this spread is that we have the Queen of Cups in upright position and the King of Cups in upright position, and it's a true pair. So it's giving like there's so much in store for whoever this person is, collective. I feel like this could be you or someone you know. There's just so much in store. There's so much union energy in this reading. We also have the King and Queen of Wands, another true pair here, and it's fire and water. So a very passionate new beginning with the Ace of Cups in reverse position. I feel like whoever this person is, they get out of this energy and they're able to step into a new beginning. They're able to start a new chapter for themselves, and they're tapping into this union energy, this very powerful, abundant union energy. You could be coming into union with your divine counterpart or deepening your union with your divine counterpart. I see union definitely in the reading, like a divine union, an ordained union, unions. I don't know. There might be a double date coming up or something, or happening at some point. I see union energy, but with the Queen of Wands in upright position and the King of Swords in reverse position. The King of Wands in reverse. I feel like there's more work to be done. But I do see whoever this is coming out of this grudge or coming out of this low vibration, giving themselves permission to have fun because of the self-loathing. It's like they were like punishing themselves for something that they shouldn't have judged themselves so harshly for, but they like judged themselves really harshly for something that they did as a youth. I see this person like giving themselves permission to like live and have fun and go out and meet people or start that relationship. Like I see this person giving themselves permission to just, you know, do life. And I feel like as soon as they decide that they are ready, things move very quickly for this person. They go into union very quickly. They tap into this abundance really quickly. But there's more work to be done, like I said. I want to know more about who is this person in this energy, spirit. I feel like this could be collective. Collective, however it resonates, you know, take it as it applies. But I feel like collective, you could be this person, or it could be someone you know. It's really giving collective. Tapping into this King of Cups and Queen of Cups energy. Like forgiving themselves for something that they shouldn't have ever even judged themselves for. I don't know if somebody judged you harshly, made you feel bad. I think that might have been the cause of this extra self-loathing here. I see you coming out of this energy and tapping into some very abundant union energy. We got two true pairs here. It's like there's like two ordained unions here. I feel like a situation goes from being really unbalanced to being balanced out once you decide to like give yourself permission to have fun and to do things that you love and enjoy things. Once you like forgive yourself, stop judging yourself, a situation gets balanced out. An unfair situation is balanced out. And I feel like it's unfair to you, collective, for you to be judging yourself so harshly over this thing. I feel like it's unfair to you and you deserve more. You deserve better. And you really should forgive yourself and stop judging yourself harshly because there's so much abundance for you here, like to experience and enjoy and have fun with. Like, you gotta go, do it. Cannot stay in this Four of Cups energy, but it's like, I don't think you are, because it's in reverse. I feel like you don't stay in this place for long. You do release this negativity and you do accept this abundance. I don't feel like you were ever meant to be punished for this way. So there's no reason why you should stay in a place where you're judging yourself like this. It's like the punishment doesn't fit the crime here at all. When it comes to you, collective, the punishment didn't fit the crime here. And I see you upset about it. I see you upset like like I didn't deserve this. But because this is like the cards that are being dealt, like I see you kind of like down about that. But you're coming out of this energy and you're stepping into all this abundance. It's like been waiting for you. It's like you got a backlog of abundance here. Like you stayed in this self-loathing place, or you might have stayed in like hermit mode, or you might have stayed like isolated way longer than you should have, or you had to. There was so much abundance like waiting for you. It's like backlog now. And a balance, like the situation was unfair to you, collective, for sure. And once you like stop punishing yourself, stop judging yourself, how that you balance out a very unfair situation. You give yourself like you're bringing in more justice into yourself by judging yourself less. Oh my goodness, I just picked up on another message, collective. There might be a masculine and or a feminine, two masculine or two feminines, however it applies in your situation. You have suitors. And so I'm getting, yo, this is what I'm picking up on. You might have been in like, I don't see the Hermit card, but I feel like you were in some sort of isolation where you removed yourself from your community because you were healing from this self-loathing and this judgment energy. And it's like while you were self-loathing, while you were like feeling down, you were being looked at, you were being watched, and you were being chosen. I mean, you were probably this this isn't about no probably. What I'm channeling here is that you, collective, and this might not have been you, but what I'm picking up on is that you were judging yourself over something that you shouldn't have been judging yourself harshly over. You might have been misled into thinking that you needed to punish yourself, or that you needed to judge yourself, or you should be ashamed of yourself, and that wasn't the case. You were a youth, you didn't know any better. It's okay. The situation is healable, able to heal. You've already been forgiven. It's like you just have to forgive yourself and give yourself grace. And I see you like taking your time doing that, or taking longer than you should to give yourself the grace that you deserve. You honestly truly deserve grace, and you didn't give that to yourself. And it's like while you were judging yourself harshly, you were being loved on from a distance. There was multiple people with their eye on you, seeing your value clearly. Like your value, your worth, your light was obvious, even though you were down and out, even though you were might have been in a depression, you could have been in some sort of depression, or you could have just been self-loathing. But you, even in that state, you were the prize. You were being like scouted out by these potential suitors. I've got, it's like multiple queens and kings here, and all this energy in your reading. I just feel like in this, like all these people are like waiting outside for you, and they're like wanting your attention. It's honestly like you're inside, you might be a little depressed, judging yourself harshly over something that you need to forgive yourself for. And then it's like you decide, okay, one day you decide one day that, like, what, I'm healed, I'm no longer going to judge myself over this, and I'm going to go have fun, and I'm going to enjoy life. You step foot outside, and then it's like you got a whole line. There's a whole line outside of your door of potential suitors wanting your time and your attention, wanting to take you out. Some of them are like really, really great potential suitors, and then you do also have suitors that don't really align with you, but would love to get your time and your attention. Like you might actually, go on a couple of dates with so and so or this person and get to know these people. You might have to reject someone else, but you have there's like a line. By the time you stop judging yourself, there's a line of potential suitors for you. If you're not already in a union, like I see you being very highly, highly desired. I see your worth and your value being clearly seen, even from a distance. Even while you're in this state where you're self-loathing, it's like someone is waiting for you to like come outside. There's like multiple people who've been like waiting for you to feel better because they just want to have fun with you. They want to play. They want to go on a date. They want to take you out. It's like as soon as so and so feels better, like we're going here, I'm taking them there. I hope they say yes, or I hope they want to go on a date with me, or I hope that they're interested. As soon as they know that they're worthy, as soon as they get over, feeling unworthy, get over judging themselves over this stuff, like you are wanted. Is what I'm getting, collective. It's like even if you try to like put yourself down, there's gonna be a line of people wanting your attention and your time because you're like worth it. You're like literally worth it. Like you're literally worthy. I don't know how you ended up judging yourself so harshly, but even in the midst of judging yourself like this, nobody who wants to love you is judging you this way. Like you're judging yourself so harshly. You got a line of people out here who just want to love you because they know you deserve it. Like they know that their love won't be taken for granted by you. They know that they feel safe loving you. So it's like you're top pick for multiple people. And you're respected too. It's not like these are a whole bunch of temporary people, superficial bonds and relationships. These are real connections here. And these connections like respect you. It's like if you choose, it's like you have a line outside of your door, and it's like once you choose, all the other options will respectfully leave you and that person alone to explore your relationship. It's like that's how much you are desired and respected. Like all of these suitors want you to be happy. All of these suitors like see the light in you and see the value. They just want you to be happy. There might be one bad apple. I see like one bad apple, but you have like options here. And I feel like this gives you a confidence boost, especially coming out of this like really low vibrational space. You were like telling yourself no to like your abundance. Like you had like an inheritance. it could have been like some sort of inheritance, some sort of gift, and you're like, I can't accept this, just not feeling well. It's like this is yours. Like something is just entitled. You're entitled to something, or something is just simply yours, and you were like denying it. You were denying yourself of something that was just completely yours, something that was entitled to you. And it's like by the time you accept what is rightfully yours, it's doubled in value or multitude. I don't know. This it's just by the time you actually come outside, it's like you didn't miss out, but it's like it's a lot has been going on while you were in that energy, collecting, backlogging. You could have multiple suitors trying to get your attention. You might have just been dealing with one person, and it's like now it's like two or three or four people want your attention. But I feel like once you step out into this energy, you will naturally like get into the groove or of things. Like I just see you being like, okay, I can do this. Like this isn't so bad. Like I'm having fun and I don't feel guilty and I'm not judging myself and I'm enjoying myself. Like I see you stepping into this energy and like getting the hang of it, realizing who you are, realizing your worth, realizing your value, being like, okay, I get it, like I see you respecting yourself. This is the thing. I see you seeing yourself the way that other people see you. Because I see you looking at yourself in a low vibrational way. You could have been judging yourself really harshly, um, and looking down on yourself, but you were like misled into doing that. You step into the light, you step out of this energy, and it's like you start to see yourself the same way these kings and these queens look at you. And it feels good. It doesn't feel like cringy at all. It's very fulfilling. Like you're like, yeah, okay, I can see now. I can see better. Like why these people waited for me, held space for me. Someone could have like held space for you while you were going through a difficult time, or vice versa. It's like slowly but surely you start to see yourself this way, and it feels really good. It's really rewarding for you. These people like see your worth. I'm just like you have suitors, or there's like multiple suitors here, and it's like you're being scouted out. Like your worth and your value is being noticed. And they also notice like how like it's not just anyone, it's like people who respect you and want you to make the best decision for yourself. This is it's beautiful energy. I love this for you, collective. I just think it's wild. Something about this is baffling to me. From my point of view, I'm looking at your spread and on collective, I'm just like I'm seeing you the way that you're I feel like I'm in I feel like I'm in line. I feel like collective, there you go, and then it's like you have a line of suitors here. You got the Queen of Wands, it's the Queen of Cups, the King of Cups, and the King of Wands, and then me, I'm also in the line, and I'm just like in the line looking at you like waiting for my turn. Oh, is collective coming outside today? Are they like feeling better today? Like I feel like I'm in line. So what I'm picking up on is, like I said, I'm in line with all these suitors, and I can see I'm looking at you from their point of view. So it's like I see you the same way that they are looking at you. And it's like I completely get why me and your suitors, we completely understand. We completely understand your energy and like where you're coming from is what I'm getting here. It's like there's suitors, and these could be this could be romantic or platonic, but I just feel like this loving energy surrounding you, where space is being made for you. You're coming out of this really dark energy, and you're just loving yourself. Except I see you coming out of this energy, this like harsh judgmental energy, and I don't think this is something that you deserved at all. I don't feel like you deserve to go through this judgment, this harsh judgment. Either you were judged harshly, or you judged yourself harshly, and either way you didn't deserve it. We all see that. We all see that. And if you're not ready to like forgive yourself or something, it's like space is being made for you, held for you, no matter what. We all know that you didn't deserve what you went through. We all like seen, or we observed the energy that you're in, and there's just this loving energy that's like making space for you and holding space for you no matter what. All these suitors, including me, it's like we all see what's going on, and we all know that you didn't deserve what you went through here. Someone's being There's like multiple people here being very, very patient with you, holding space for you, because they understand what you're going through, or they can like relate, or they respect you, and they're just holding space for you. They might not know exactly what you're going through, but it's like they're being very patient with you. They're holding space for you out of love, out of like authentic, genuine, like admiration for you. Even if you don't choose, you might have to reject someone, but they will always like respect you. It's just the type of person you are. Yeah, I see multiple people holding space for you, giving you space. Like you might need space. I feel like you're in an energy where you need space. Like you went through something tragic, or you were judged, you didn't deserve it. Like you need space from everyone. Like you might have been like in an energy where like you just need space from everyone, and then the people, like these people stuck around and waited, or these people stayed loyal. It's not like they might not have been like just waiting outside of your door like for you to come out, on some Elsa and Anna. Like these people might have been like living their lives, but they always like had you in mind, always held space for you, would check on you, or they check on you even if you don't like talk to them. They might just check on you in general because they actually care. I see a group of people holding space for you, knowing exactly why you need space, understanding where you're coming from completely, loving you unconditionally. It's like you're not alone here. You're very much so not alone. Not only are you like surrounded by like loving energy, I see you surrounded by hard that's not the best word to use. I see you surrounded by people who are very, like, these are legitimate connections. These aren't temporary relationships, bonds. These aren't superficial people. It's the queen, king of cups and wands. It's the king and queen of cups and wands. It's like these are respectable people, honorable suitors. So I see you like being surrounded by this loving energy in the 3D and also in the 5D. Because I feel like these people reflect and mirror your spirit team, because you have spirit and the spirit team with you all the time. So you're not alone in the 5D, and in the 3D. I feel like that's being reflected to you in the 3D. Like you're starting to see like who really is like there for you, has been there for you this whole time. Someone here, like there's multiple people here who know your story and completely understand where you're coming from and why you feel the way that you feel. You don't even have to explain yourself or advocate for yourself. It's like they know that like something, like you didn't deserve it or you didn't deserve what you went through. It's like they've seen or they know. You don't have to explain nothing to these people. It's like you're very well loved and understood and covered here. Beautiful energy. Collective. I love this for you, especially considering what you had to overcome. Like you really deserve this abundant union energy here. Slowly but surely, you're seeing yourself the way other people see you. You are like seen in a very, very divine light. Like you have so much value and worth here that's being recognized. And you're seeing yourself that way. You're seeing, it's like, it's not like you doubted yourself. It's not like you didn't know your worth. It's just that the experience here with the Seven of Swords in upright position, I feel like this negative experience here that might have happened to you as a youth really got in the way of your self-confidence or your self-esteem. It could have really impacted you in a negative way where you had a hard time seeing yourself the way that you are. There's people here helping you see yourself in a more positive light, who see you for who you are and not like how you were judged or how you were talked about or something to that effect. Somebody just sees you for who you are. There's like multiple people who see you for who you are. It's not even one person. It's not like you're not alone. There's like this one person who gets it. No, there's multiple people who like completely get it. And they're not even like the type of people to be like tap you on the shoulder and be like, hey, I know exactly what you're going through. Like, I get it. Like, no, they'll leave you alone and everything. They'll give you space and everything. Like, they get it like that. Like, awesome. I love it for you, collective. We're going to continue tapping into this energy, and I will talk to you guys soon. So, peace.